And the dressing gown still waits for my uncle. What a nice smell. Violets from the Calypso Meadow? Good morning. Can I come in?
Excuse me? Who is this?
I'm Sylvie, Olivier Leroux's niece. Can I see you?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Come on up.
Sorry to bother you.
Not a problem.
I wanted to meet you since you've worked with my uncle.
How is he doing? I haven't been in touch with him for a while.
He's gone missing. Nobody's seen him for the past few days.
What do you mean, gone missing? Maybe he's left somewhere.
Possible, but where?
Well, have you asked the neighbors?
Kawada says he might have left for Gozo, but nobody knows anything more.
Oh, you've got me really worried. I really wanted to see him. I've been counting on his advice.
I'm beginning to worry about my uncle.
I know the feeling. I was just a child when my parents died. Afterwards, I was paralyzed by anxiety. This would happen to every guardian of mine.
That's awful. I'm so sorry.
They went to the cinema in a Protestant neighborhood one night because they really wanted to see a particular movie. And on that evening, the IRA struck.
Belfast?
If it hadn't been for a wise priest, I'd be planting bombs myself.
My parents conducted research projects on the Polynesian Islands. They're ethnographers.
It must be beautiful there.
Yes, I'm sure. They worked in very difficult conditions, so I spent all my holidays with my uncle in La Valletta.
I mean, it's very difficult to understand for a child.
Uncle took good care of me. Sometimes he'd take me to Gozo where he worked.
You know, he mentioned you a lot when we pored over these inscriptions.
Sylvie. Please, call me Sylvie.
James, let's be friends.
You worked on the stone tablet from Gozo.
Yes, it's a fascinating discovery.
What's so interesting about it?
It's a long story.
I'm all ears.
The Knights Hospitaller had many seats before they finally ended up on Malta.
Yes, the Holy Land, Cyprus, Rhodes, Viterbo, those were the major ones, right?
That's correct. This was also a journey throughout the eras, from the Middle Ages to Renaissance in its full bloom.
All that time on the frontier, separating Christianity from the cultures of the Middle East.
They must have encountered things they would have perceived as miracles. I mean, such as magic and the occult.
But they managed to survive all this turmoil, as opposed to the Knights Templar, right?
Right. But I think that they were more down to earth, because they served the sick, the poor, and the suffering.
But these are hardly the truths you would engrave in stone.
But they should be. Still, somewhere along the way, maybe when they were fleeing Acre with the Knights Templar, they came into the possession of a unique artifact, or at least they had the knowledge about it.
And they wrote everything down on this tablet?
That's what I think, although I haven't been able to break the code yet. Maybe it'll require the assistance of computers and specialists.
Uncle left this note.
Yes, this might be it. A book detailing the history of the Knights Hospitaller. Do you have this volume?
It's in Uncle's study.
If your uncle was not mistaken as to its value, this book might spare me many weeks of hard work.
I'll get the book for you, James.
Excellent.
I'll get this book for you.
I can't wait.
I should take the book to James. I think I've just made an ally. this weird dream that's plaguing me. This is the book.
I'm going to get right to work then. Thank you, Sylvie.
I'd like to help somehow with finding the solution to the riddle.
You don't want to return to Paris?
No, I can't. Your work is tremendously fascinating.
You're exactly like Olivier said you were.
I accidentally read the note addressed to you.
So you've seen that the professor didn't want to drag you into this.
What was it that he wanted to protect me from?
I don't know, but I wouldn't take it lightly.
I have to find him.
Maybe you should just leave it to the police.
Come on. I talked to Gronk. The monument in the plaza would be more suited to conducting this case. Besides, after talking to him, I nearly felt like a suspect myself.
You know, I don't think your uncle would want you involved in this.
This is because he feels responsible for me. Now, however, I have to take care of him and his discovery. Yesterday, I took a look at the site on Gazo.
How strange. They've opened it again?
On the contrary, it's under police guard.
Why the police?
Someone broke in and stole a stone tablet as well as 4 small stone sculptures.
Unbelievable.
But unfortunately true. However, I have photos of them.
Could you show them to me?
Here are the photographs of the tablet.
Good photographs. They're going to be able to help me with my work.
They're yours.
Now it'll be so much easier to work on this riddle.
I hope you'll be able to solve it soon.
So do I. Working on such texts, you can get stuck for weeks.
Why would anybody steal these stones?
The thieves knew perfectly well what they were doing.
They knew their value.
Possibly better than we do. Either way, they waited until they were secured and loaded into crates. I'll ask among some art dealers. They might have heard something. Hang on.
What?
Didn't the professor go missing on the same day as the stones?
I've been thinking about that. Do you think the thieves harmed him in any way?
Well, not necessarily, but they may need him to decipher the inscriptions.
This means they're treating him well, right?
Well, if that's the case, then yes.
What do you make of this archaeologist?
Have you talked to Henry, Simon?
Yes, although incognito.
You know, you really should introduce yourself. Henry used to work with your uncle.
And I'm supposed to hold a calm conversation with the man who ousted my uncle?
I don't think he's behind all those awful things.
Should I grill him a bit?
Just be honest with him.
Can you help me?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm not leaving you alone with this. Just give me a call as soon as you find out anything.
Do you think my theory can be helpful?
What do you mean?
Uncle said on the phone that my research may be connected to his Gozo discovery.
I remember now. He mentioned something about an unconventional approach. What exactly does your theory pertain to?
The actual existence of Sodom and Gomorrah. I claim that what's in the Bible is more than just a nifty morality tale.
That doesn't sound all that blasphemous.
I'd love to discover those cities. Like Schliemann discovered Troy. I follow in his footsteps, in the sense that I treat the description we have as real.
Well, do you want to include God in your research?
No. Just like Schliemann didn't include the Greek gods as such, What he was interested in were the consequences of their actions.
Which in this case means the destruction of those cities.
Yes. Plus, some Gnostics believe that this destruction was carried out by the Yahweh with a special tool, which remains in the Middle East up until this day.
Ah, I get it. A source of unearthly power, which is reborn in cycles.
That's how Uncle described it in his letter.
Well, I mean, you just have to wait for the full translation of the tablet.
I know. I don't want to jump to conclusions. See ya. James is right. I should have an honest chat with Simon. That's the only way I'll find out anything about my uncle. Time to visit the archaeologist site in Gozo. The police are thankfully gone. Wow, what a rocket! Maybe I should look around the temple a bit more. Do you like it?
Very impressive. Amazing.
Yes, I think so too. These are not perfect cathedrals or palaces. This is a different type of beauty, austere and powerful.
Oh no, the cathedrals and palaces and alleys and forts are amazing too.
I see you fell in love with Malta.
I generally fell in love with Europe. One lifetime is not enough to see this incredible wealth of beauty.
American?
Is it that obvious?
No, but your car is.
Not bad, is it? It goes up to 60 miles, 100 kilometers per hour in 4 seconds.
Impressive. I could show you some treasures of Malta.
Thank you, but I'm leaving today.
Pity. It's a feast for both the eyes and the soul. I know what I'm talking about. I'm an archaeologist.
An enviable profession. Congratulations.
Sure. And what do you do?
I'm a headhunter, currently on vacation.
Have a safe trip home.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
How's the work going?
Oh, it's you again.
The police officer let me see the cave. No problems.
How on earth did you manage that?
All it took was a good word and a cup of coffee.
What, journalists carry coffee around just in case?
I'm not a journalist.
I had a hunch from the beginning. Why'd you lie?
And you? Why did you lie about the break-in? My name is Sylvie LaRue.
A relative of the professor's?
Relative and pupil of the same professor whom you set up.
Set up? What do you mean?
You took this discovery away from him.
No, that's not true.
You wanted to take his glory, and as a result, both he and the discoveries went missing.
Calm down. You're insulting me now.
Didn't you take over for him?
The ministry offered this job to me. They didn't want Olivier anymore.
Why? Didn't you try to clear it up?
I did. First thing I did, in fact, was to visit the professor. We'd worked together before.
That's even more reason to consider the things you did unfair.
Your uncle didn't take too well to rational arguments. I'm sorry to say this, but it looked like the beginnings of a persecution complex.
You're just writing off whatever it was that was happening to him.
At first, I thought he was just an aging scientist growing bitter. Then I understood that there was really something bad brewing around this discovery.
You don't feel responsible for that?
What do you think? I'm hardly just an extra. I did contribute to the research of this discovery. I put my heart into it. And then, several days ago, all that was lost. I was beaten up and robbed of the most precious among all findings.
Now you know how my uncle felt.
Some guys milled around here earlier. I should have suspected something.
Would you recognize them?
No.
How were the stones stolen?
I was working on my computer. At one point, I heard a car in the parking lot, but I just went back to work. It wouldn't stop bugging me, though, so I went outside.
And you saw the thieves?
Yes, 2 of them. They were just passing by with the stones. They were masked. I started screaming, so one of them grabbed my throat from behind, and the other dealt me several blows.
Did they say anything?
No, I only heard one barked okay in some strange accent.
Did you see their car?
No, by the time I picked myself up, they were gone.
Do you suspect who they might be?
No, but I do hope they got what they wanted and will not return.
I understand.
I don't feel safe. I got the impression someone went through my trailer the other day.
Do you think they took my uncle with them?
I didn't see him with them.
Well, when was the last time you spoke to him?
We had a fight. He was furious with me.
Maybe they needed him to work on those stones.
I'm not convinced, although it is possible.
Maybe a collector is behind this.
No, as far as the arts market is concerned, the stones aren't all that interesting. If we learn the value of the inscriptions, their value in the eyes of the collectors might go up.
Maybe the thieves kidnapped my uncle in order to find the meaning behind those inscriptions. Maybe they constitute the true value of the stones.
It is a plausible explanation, but you can hardly expect me to put myself in the thieves' shoes.
How valuable are those stones?
To an archaeologist, immensely.
I know, I'm an archaeologist too. I even have my own theory as to those stones.
Really?
They are connected to an ancient artifact sought already in biblical times.
Wouldn't you know? The youngins are quick to snatch up the news.
Well, I'm sure you have your own theory.
I can't risk one yet.
I think I'll be saying goodbye then.
Believe me, I'm not the reason for these calamities. It must be something far greater than myself.
It's good that I was honest with him. Simon seems to be nice after all. I think I can trust him. Hello?
Anderson here. I've got a lead on those stones. I found out there's this art gallery owner in Istanbul who's sounding out the market, and not too subtly.
What does this mean?
Well, I imagine they're probably in possession of the stolen stones.
What's the address of this gallery?
It's Galatasaray 23. It's run by a woman called Fina Flateau. Do you want to go there?
Can you repeat? I can barely hear you.
Galatasaray 23.
Galatasaray 23.
Yes. You're not thinking of going there, are you?
This is the only lead we've got.
Look, this is not a joke. You're going to be dealing with thieves at best and someone vastly more dangerous at worst.
What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Be careful. These stones have drawn the attention of some very powerful organizations.
I can't hear you. We'll talk later. In daylight, this prehistorical building looks just as interesting as at night. Galatasaray 23. Visiting Mrs. Flateau in Istanbul can help clear things up. Just in case, I emptied my pockets before the search at the airport. But I felt embarrassed while getting rid of this fish in public.